The climax, though, comes in the court scene where Shylock is demanding a pound of the flesh of Antonio. And Portia arrives at this point disguised as a young male lawyer. Shakespeare loves the convention of cross-dressing, of taking his female characters and dressing them in male garb in order to give them the kind of voice that women did not always have in his period. It's also worth remembering from a technical, practical, theatrical point of view that the acting companies of Shakespeare's time were all male, and the female parts were therefore played by the apprentice actors, teenage boys. So the opportunity to have the boy actor playing the female part, to then have the female character dress as a boy, means that the boy actor can return to his own gender. So along comes Portia, and she argues, yes, you've asked for the pound of flesh. That was the deal. That was the bond you made. But then why don't you have mercy, Shylock? Appealing there very much to the Christian virtue of mercy. So she speaks a really beautiful, really important speech about mercy. The quality of mercy is not strained. It droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. It is twice blessed. It blesseth him that gives and him that takes. It is mightiest in the mightiest. It becomes the throned monarch better than his crown. Wherein doth sit the dread and fear of kings, but mercy is above this sceptred sway. It is enthroned in the heart of kings. It is an attribute to God himself. We do pray for mercy, and that same prayer doth teach us all to render the deeds of mercy. But Shylock does not show mercy. In that case, says Portia, the bond will be fulfilled, but it must be fulfilled to the letter. You may have a pound of flesh from Antonio, but there is nothing about having any of his blood. You can only take his flesh if you do not take any of his blood. And of course that is impossible. How could you cut off someone's flesh without shedding any blood? Shylock realizes he's defeated. He says that he feels ill. He skulks away. He has his money taken away from him. He's forced to convert to Christianity. It's quite a harsh ending, but in some senses a deserved one. What we take away from the play are these two great contrasting speeches. Shylock demanding that we see the humanity of the Jew, and Portia making us see that we should all see the power of mercy and forgiveness. The ending is uneasy. Antonio, in particular, is left alone. There are 3 marriages at the end, but Antonio is left alone. And of course, Shylock is also alone. Shakespeare is deeply sympathetic to the figure of the outsider. Shylock because he's Jewish, Antonio possibly because he's homosexual. They are the ones who are left out of the delicate dance of love. So the play is full of unsettling dualities, law and love, bond and breach, mercy and revenge. We ask how a play that ends in laughter can also contain some of the most painful scenes that Shakespeare wrote. Is Shylock a villain or a victim? That famous speech, "Hath not a Jew eyes," has resonated across the centuries as a cry for recognition, even as the play has continued to provoke debate over those anti-Semitic undertones. Undertones, though, that it seems to me are there in the characters, not in Shakespeare himself.